What it do, YouTube? It's SS and I'm back with another video, but this one right here. Well, this one right here is after the Poliwag community days. You guys can see right here. I do have a shadow shiny Poliwrath that I did end up evolving to get counter for the community day because counter is really a good move and Poliwrath having access to it makes it even a lot better now. Um so I do have these three sets that I did do on my alt account. Um, so that is why it's a different name. But yeah, I didn't do these battles on Twitch because we were having an outage here, and so I wasn't able to actually stream these battles. But this was right after the community day. It was the same day right after. So these battles are pretty new. Did them yesterday. If you guys are watching this on Monday, then yeah, I just got back my internet. So they just actually fixed the internet. But link in the description to my Twitch if you guys do want to go watch me in real time as I do my battles, and then I do the voiceover later on. Chop up the battles, do the voiceover later on, and throw it onto YouTube. But if you guys want to see it in real time, link in the description. As always, I will be going live today at 4 p.m. Central with this team. So if you did see this video, let me know. And yeah, just let me know that you came from YouTube. But either way, we're going to hop into these battles now that I rambled for a good while. We're going to see a Lantern. I do believe the last game was a Lantern as well. And it's Lantern's really iffy for us, right? But since I saw that the first person baited me, so I was like, I'm just gonna take it into the no shield, the zero shields here. They're probably gonna bait again. They're probably just gonna go surf. I mean, they probably only just built up to the surf. But yeah, I don't want to shield a surf, so this is fine. So I just let it go through. I'm still trying to figure out how to play the Lantern matchup, but we'll see how this plays out. We are able to actually KO it. They come into a Ferrothorn, so this is really, really not good for us. But let's see how we turn this around and see if we do end up winning or not. I don't want to throw there. I want to try to get an extra move, an extra fast move. See if they hopefully throw in bad timing. I'm going to throw in good timing here and get this mud bomb off. Do they want to shield? They do want to start shielding, so I'm okay with that. I'm at the next one. I will throw one mud shot, then start throwing the mud bomb. Then I switch out into my Pelipper here. I'm calling this as a Thunder. It is the Thunder, but they have a Pelipper, and we're gonna bait it, but no reason for us to bait it because regardless of this bait, they will still get to a Hurricane and pretty much just one shot. Well, this will one shot us, so it really doesn't matter here. And now we're gonna be CMPing on our Stone Edge with the Pelipper, and we're gonna end up losing that game. So far, I think we lost. We're 0-2. Once again, Lantern lead. How do we do this? Um, so I'm gonna go for Scold here, hoping I do get the debuff here. We do get the debuff. I'm gonna switch out instantly because we've known that there was Ferrothorns in the back, and we throw on bad timing here, and this is really bad that they end up sneaking a move. So now I'm gonna farm up, farm up, farm up, hoping that they throw on bad timing. They do throw on bad timing, so now we are going to shield, and we're gonna farm up again. Right when we get to 100 energy, throw on good timing as well. We're gonna start throwing out these mud bombs. We're one away from the next mud bomb. They're one away from the power whip as well. They are starting to shield, and this is fine with me. I'm going to shield as well. I could probably farm up a little bit more, which I probably should have, but I'm trying to get this thing gone, and we're just gonna knock it out. They come into the lantern. If I would have had more energy, I probably could have CMP'd on the the mud bomb, but this is fine. We're gonna come into our um Poliwrath, and we're gonna end up losing here. And it looks like this is the top left. So maybe we did end up winning the first game. I'm not too sure, but either way, I know this is a 3-2. Um, we see a good lead for us, and then they swap out into S Cavalier. So we're just gonna swap out into we're gonna do a little bit of some damage, farm up to some moves, and then we're gonna come out into our Pelipper, and they're gonna acid spray us and get our shield. Cool. But I do want to get rid of it instantly, so I do throw the weather ball, and then they do let it go through. They come into the Sand Slash. hoping to get this farm, which makes sense. They are over farming a lot, so I am able to get to the next weather ball. They swap out to a Glycopod. I am not able to get to the I'm not able to throw the weather ball. I do get to the weather ball, but I don't get to throw it. At this point, I'm hoping I catch X scissor. It is a liquidation though. So now I'm gonna throw the skull here myself, and they no shield it. So I'm going to no shield this, hoping it's an X scissor. It is the next scissor. Do we get to the move? No, we are actually able to farm him down, which is fine with me. I don't have to shield this. I can let this go through. It is the drill run. I'm at the back to back moves, I do believe. Two turn versus two turn, so I could throw whenever they realize I'm at two moves and they just don't even shield, and we're gonna be able to win that game. Now we're gonna hop into the next battle. We're gonna see Jellison. Okay, so Jellison hard walls Poliwrath. We can't really do anything to Poliwrath to be honest. So it gets a little bit iffy now. So now we're gonna be able to get the skull off. It is not. It didn't get debuff. They didn't get the be. We didn't get the debuff. They do end up throwing a shadow ball. I end up shielding here again, thinking that they're gonna go for the shadow ball again, and they do go for the shadow ball. So I'm gonna start chucking out this next scold. They don't want to shield and at this point. Uh, I am actually able to farm down and they come out into a Skarmory, and this is looking really bad for us, but we're able to get to an Ice Punch. They do shield, and we're actually able to get to another Ice Punch. We live with 1 HP. No, we don't live with 1 HP. We actually get the new mechanic there. Pretty cool of us to get the new mechanic. And because we got the new mechanic, we were actually able to get this Ice Punch off and put it in Stone Edge range here. I am not going to bait because most likely they won't shield, but they do end up shielding. And since they're at 5, I'm going to catch because I knew that they would throw right away, trying to get rid of my Quagsire. And in the back, they have a Registeel, so good thing that I ended up saving my Quagsire. So I'm gonna start chucking out these weather balls. This is CMP on the second weather ball, so this is really good for us. They do focus blast us, so they do have some extra energy here, and they do I'm just gonna go ahead and start throwing right here, hoping I can actually outpace. They should be energy dry with the Skarmory, so I should be able to make it with extra energy. I should be able to make it to a Stone Edge. Even if I didn't have a Stone Edge, or if I didn't have energy, I would still make it to the um, the Stone Edge before he would make it to a Sky Attack. So now we're gonna see a bad lead. We have seen nothing but bad leads, and this is fine. So we're gonna go ahead and start throwing ice punches. I realized that they always bait, and this one I actually don't know why I thought they would throw, but they ended up throwing and do end up catching. They come out into lantern, so they're gonna get a little bit less farm with their lantern. We do get to a hurricane though, which is really good chip damage for us. We're gonna go down here. This is looking bad for us because we do not have no health on our Poliwrath. But we're gonna start letting these go through. Surf. They're at another one. I gotta let it go through. And I should be shielding the next one. Farm up, farm up, farm up. Shield this next one. And we're gonna farm up again. And I do believe we're gonna throw in CMP. But they end up catching on Pelipper, which is really good for them. I would do one mud shot, get to the Stone Edge, swap out to my Poliwrath, and I get to an Ice Punch here. They let it go through, and they actually end up throwing here. If they would have did one fast move, we would have been actually able to farm down. Well, we would have been KO'd at the same time, but it doesn't even matter because two shield Ferrothorn is just going to wreck us, and that is going to be GG's. So now we're gonna hop into the next battle. We're gonna see Quagsire. All right. Quagsire. Well, we know that they're just gonna go straight mud bombs. I always wonder if I should shield the first one just in case I do get the debuff. But then again, the debuff is not always guaranteed. So, but I do end up throwing the scold, and we do end up getting a debuff. And because we got the debuff, I'm going to let this go through. They come onto Skarmory and they actually snipe us and we don't get to the ice punch. It's really bad for us, but we're gonna be able to actually come into our Quagsire here, and we're gonna farm up a little bit extra energy here, throwing good timing. Make sure we throw in good timing, and this is gonna probably a battle that's gonna go down to the two shields. I do let this go through pretty questionable because they do end up brave birding me, and now this is looking really bad. But we do end up getting the farm, and we're loaded with this Pelipper. They come on to Lucario, so this is starting to look a little okay for us since they did come on to Lucario, and we're at two weather balls, so we're gonna be chunking out these weather balls. They do end up double shielding the Lucario, and I'm hoping this is a shadow ball. If it's a shadow ball, I can farm up just a little bit more, but they do this catch, and I'm like, yo, I hope they don't get to a move here. And we actually get to the move before they get to a move, and this is fine with us because we're gonna be able to win. So that catch was a little bit scary, but in the end, it didn't really matter. And now we're gonna see Ferrothorn. This is what we want to see, and as you guys can see, I don't know how a normal one would be because I chose to run the shadow just for the extra oomph. And they're gonna swap out. I'm gonna throw the scold here. We do get the attack fall, so since we do get the attack fall, I'm going to let everything go on my Pelipper. I don't care what they do, what they throw. I'm going to go straight for the farm down here. And they do get to another ice punch, which is fine, and we're still in the yellow. And since we're down the shield, I really don't want to bait because there's no reason for me to bait since they're up two shields, and they do end up letting it go through. I end up trying to get to this hurricane. We do get to a hurricane, which is really good for us. They do end up shielding. I swap out, and then at this point, this is looking very questionable to be honest. But we're gonna see how we play this out. Now I'm gonna have to start shielding shadow serves, which I should have shielded the shadow ball. But either way, it's still fine. We're gonna see how we pull this out, and we're gonna be able to get to another mud bomb here, making sure we throw on good timing. One mud shot for their one hex, two turn versus three turn. I want to make sure we throw in good timing, and we live on one. No, we don't live on one HP. This is actually new mechanic as well, and because we got new mechanic, I'm gonna come into Pelipper here and just be able to farm this down. If not, we were gonna need to get to a move, and I do believe that we probably would have needed to make a catch, but it worked out for us in the end. We do get new mechanic, and now we're gonna see Ferrothorn again in the lead, and then they swap out into Lantern, hoping they would catch Nice Punch, but they end up catching the Scold. I was hoping I'd get the debuff, but I don't get the debuff, which is fine. So now we can come into Quagsire. I do want to chip it a little bit just to make this matchup a little bit easier. I do CMP here, and this puts it in a range where I could probably maybe farm it down. Two, three, four, five. We do farm it down. Perfect farm. They end up getting KO'd with the surf. And then we got a lot of energy here, so I'm just gonna start throwing out these mud bombs, making sure I do throw in good timing. And this time I do throw in bad timing just because I don't think I would live that bullet seed. And they do end up just letting it go through. I come into my Poliwrath, giving them false hope, and then I try to catch the drill run, but they don't throw the drill run. They are patient, and but they end up giving up once they do see the Pelipper. And now we're gonna see a normal Poliwrath up against our Shadow Shiny Poliwrath. And I do end up shielding this, thinking it was probably like a nice punt. But either way, I shouldn't have shielded it to be honest. And I'm gonna go for the catch here. We do end up catching. They end up swapping into Ludicolo. This is really good for me. I'm gonna farm up to the Hurricane because I feel like they will end up shielding this. They do shield, just really good for me. I don't think I'm gonna get to the Hurricane, so I'm just gonna start chucking out these weather balls here. And we do get to farm up a little bit, but they do end up KOing us. So now this is looking really tricky. What do? I come in. We Simo KO at the same time. So now it's Quag against the whole world. What are we gonna do here? I'm hoping that Quag has play in the back. Let's see if he does. It's another Quagsire. We're down. Well, we got a shield, but we're down health. So let's see what we can do here. They do end up throwing their first mud bomb here. We get to our mud bomb as well. We start chucking this out. No shield. We farm up, hoping I don't CMP him because I do not want to CMP him. So I'm trying to throw on random times. We are at the move. This is CMP. All I gotta do is shield now, and we should be able to take this game here and win. Right? We do end up winning. Yeah, CMP. It would have been a little bit trickier if he did have more energy, and we do go 4-1 there. And the last set we do go 5-0, but how you guys saw all those bad leads, Niantic actually finally gave us some good leads in this set. So we're gonna see Registeel in the lead. We do end up getting the debuff, so I'm going to shield this. It's gonna be the Zap Cannon most likely. They don't get the debuff, and we're gonna be able to farm up a little bit extra energy. I do want to scold it just in case. Once again, I want to get the debuff, but or shield, and he does not shield. I'm going to catch the scold here. No debuff on our part again. And we're going to be able to farm down completely. They're going to come into Lantern. They said Registeel. Nope. We're going to come into the Lantern and get all this juicy farm from you. And which is fine. I am still able to make it to a Hurricane and a Weather Ball with the energy that I did have. Since now Quag is really valuable here. But I really only needed to take out this lantern, to be honest. So if they come in Registeel, I swap out. I'm hoping that they end up catching, and I'm like, okay, I need to undercharge this, but this is a very bad undercharge. But either way, I end up getting enough moves to enough fast moves to get to the Scold here. We do end up getting the shield. They get the debuff. We get the debuff, and then they surface. That is not enough to KO, but they already know that we're at the move, and they're just gonna top left. And now we're gonna see Gyarados. This is not what I really want to see, but they end up seeing P in us. And I'm thinking about shielding because how much damage the Dragon Breath already did to us. And so I'm kind of scared. They do end up letting it go through, so I'm gonna farm down with Pelipper. If they do let me, they do let me farm down with Pelipper. I am going to bait. This is probably a bad bait to be honest. Yep, bad bait. And now I'm just gonna start throwing out these weather balls because that's the only thing I could really do to be honest. Let's see if they end up baiting us. I'm gonna shield this. Is this a bait? They do end up baiting us, so this is really bad for us. And then now I'm going to get to the next weather ball here, and they're not gonna let it go. I try to catch the Stone Edge here, but I'm trying to keep my Pelipper alive because I'm like they brought a Quagsire. There must be something in the back that's pretty weak to the Pelipper, and we see that it's an S-Cab, and they're gonna farm up energy here because they're thinking that the we're weak to their Quagsire, but in actuality we are not weak to their Quagsire. We are pretty neutral to their Quagsire, and here I want to put it in range where I can farm it down with my um Quagsire, and so we are able to actually just farm down the Cavalier, and they just end up top left in at that point. Once again, we do get a good lead here. Like I said, we finally end up getting some good leads. And they come into a Pelipper. I'm going to get this Ice Punch off. I do want to get this Ice Punch off. If that happens, then I am able to KO with a Weather Ball here. We do win CMP here. They end up shielding at this point. I'm shielding too because I'm thinking this is going to be the Hurricane. It is the Hurricane, and we're going to be farming up, farming up, farming up. Um, I'm hoping this is not a Hurricane, but most likely it is the Hurricane. It is the Hurricane. We're going to be able to punch down this Pelipper. We did see a Registeel, so we know that Quagsire can handle the Registeel. But this is really bad because we have a bad matchup here. I'm going to let this go through, hoping this is just a surf. It is a Bubble Beam. They are degens. They are running Bubble Beam, the old moveset that you wanted to be running before it got access to Surf. They do debuff us here before they leave. They come into the Registeel and they save their Jellicent, but we're at multiple moves here. Well, so I'm going to throw it right away. I don't know how much energy it does have, so I just want to throw it right away just in case he does end up trying to Zap Cannon me, but he should focus blast here, but he zap cannons me, gets another debuff, and I'm like, oh no. So I'm over farming as much as I can here. I'm at 2 moves. Does he want to shield? He does not want to shield. I swap out. I get to a nice punch here. I don't know if I would have got to the scold, but either way, I get to a nice punch here. We're gonna farm up, farm up, farm up, farm up. We put it in range just enough for 2 mud bombs. They get to move here. What is it? They are a shadow ball. They throw the shadow ball. Is this another shadow ball? It's a bubble beam, and we're gonna be able to get to. We're one away from the next mud bomb. We're one away from the next mud bomb. Are we gonna be able to get to it? We get new mechanic, and we're gonna be able to take this game with 1 HP and a dream. Wow, crazy, right? And now we're gonna see Registeel again. Really good for us, right? They come out until Poliwrath. This is the second time we've seen Poliwrath with the Registeel. This is fine. They're gonna power up punches. I knew they were gonna power up punches. I'm gonna go straight for the skull because I do want to get the debuff if I can. Um, no debuff, and I try to catch the next power up punch, but I don't catch it. So I'm gonna shield this. It's a dynamic punch. I'm gonna go farm down completely if they do get to um, another move here is fine. It is a power punch. We don't shield the power punch. And now I was hoping they would come to Registeel, but they don't come into Registeel. It is Jellicent. So we're gonna Hurricane right off the bat. We're gonna try to throw in good timing here. But somehow they end up, I guess I lagged the turn and they somehow end up catching, which is really weird because if I throw in good timing on the third hex, then it should be in the middle of their animation. They should not be able to catch. But either way, I don't know. I might have lagged the turn, but either way, I know that they had to throw energy. They can't bank 2 moves. They had to throw on my Pelipper, and this is just enough to farm down. They do end up throwing here. I'm going to let this go through. It is a surf. This one actually does have surf, and we're going to be able to farm up here. I can safely shield this, even if it's a bait or a shadow ball. Doesn't matter. They would need like 2 shadow balls to KO at this point, and they just give up because they know that I will make it to 2 mud bombs before they will get to 2 shadow balls. And once again, we're gonna see a good lead here. And so we're gonna be able to look at these counters, how much damage that are doing to this Ferrothorn. They are gonna get to the ice punch here. And I probably should have did one and through. Because if I did that, maybe I could get a shield from them. And we're down shield and they're at what they come out with a lantern. This is really bad for us. I'm trying to get the skull debuff here, but I am not lucky. Hoping that this is a surf. It is a thunderbolt though. They come out to a Poliwrath of their own, and I'm like, how do I win this? How do I win this? This is looking really tough. And I see that they pause. Maybe they thought I was gonna try to catch there, but I do end up getting another move, and then I swap out instantly. And at this point, I need to sack my Pelipper because and I should have went straight for the farm down here, and I don't know why I threw, and then I realized I shouldn't be throwing. I should be letting him throw another move at me so I can be low for this lantern. And now all he did was he saved that Poliwrath, which is really bad for us. Now we gotta have to see what we can do here. I CMP. Probably shouldn't seen CMP'd here. They do end up shielding. I need to farm up here. I need to farm up extra energy. One, two, three, four. Oh, we could have did one more mud shot. CMP'd again. But we are able to actually get to this next mud bomb and take out that newly Poliwrath to end up getting a 5-0 here. So hope you guys like the battles. Like, comment, subscribe. Uh, we haven't really had a lot of subscribers, so if we can get more subscribers, um, that would be awesome. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the battles. I will be running this team at 4 p.m. Central today, so I hope to see you guys later on my Twitch. If not, I will be dropping the same another video with the same team tomorrow if off goes well. If not, then I will try to figure out another team, and I will see you guys on the next video.